Green Goblin is probably easily one of Spider-Man's most notorious, or at least most known villains. And that is a very easy thing for me to say because he's one of the main villains that everybody would know off bat because of his performance by William Dafoe and the amount of times that he's been shown as a Spider-Man villain in almost any kind of media whatsoever. And I've made a couple videos specifically discussing on why I think that some characters would have been perfect in other universes, and Green Goblin is no different. I feel like he would have made an amazing Batman villain, specifically due to the fact of Batman's rogues gallery have a very specific kind of quirkiness and have a very specific kind of brand that they have developed over all of this time that Green Goblin to me just makes perfect sense for. We have characters like the Riddler, the Joker, Firefly, and all of these other characters that have these own specific gimmicks that they stick so hard to, someone like the Riddler or whatever, that they all stick so perfectly to. And I feel like Green Goblin would just be a perfect incorporation into that kind of chaos and quirkiness that it would actually be so entertaining to see. I feel like there are so many things that could easily be done with a Green Goblin in the actual universe that would actually just be so interesting. Obviously, there are specific characters like the Joker that there would be a very lot of backlash between, and there would be a lot of confrontation just between those two characters specifically. So I'm just going to really just give my honest opinions on a lot of the things that probably would happen if the Green Goblin was a member of the Batman's Rogues Gallery. Obviously, first of all, I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, he gets transported. I'm just going to say if Green Goblin was just always in the Batman universe and always in the DC universe, because that just makes it a lot more fun for me to play around with. Specifically due to the fact of Norman Osborn being extremely intelligent and extremely rich already. So Oscorp would probably just exist in this universe too. And if I'm going to be honest, the only thing that I honestly see happening is obviously it could easily be a situation where Oscorp is located in Gotham, which we could just easily make that a reality because that probably would be very funny more to see anything else than that. And we always could have a situation where he's either a part of the Court of Owls prior to becoming Green Goblin, but afterwards he just kind of starts on dwelling and doing his own thing into kind of madness. But this is also a situation where I obviously know Bruce would figure out fairly quickly something's going on with Norman as soon as he would end up having anything relating to do with the Green Goblin happening to him. Because of the fact that, one, he is the world's greatest detective. So Norman, someone that he probably would have known for ages at this point, depending specifically, obviously, on their age range, which, in all fairness, this would be a situation where they are fairly similar in age. So this would be a fairly good situation of, one, he would know something's going on with Norman, and as soon as Green Goblin starts showing up, he would probably eventually start putting two and two together because there aren't very many people that would be able to develop a suit of that high caliber with the glider, with all of those things, without having some serious money and some serious coin to be able to throw around to create all of these things. And obviously, it would just make perfect sense for him to be a Batman villain, specifically because of the fact that I was talking about the gimmicks earlier. And I'm going to say this specifically right now. Obviously, Joker would still be doing the Joker things, but his relationship with Green Goblin would be a very, very irritating situation for anybody to be dealing with. Because of the fact that they're both so ruthless when it comes to trying to deal with things, it would be a very big situation of these two are always going to be fighting or working together for long enough until one of them betrays each other. Because, one, that is obviously how most things would have to work either way. Joker is just way too chaotic of a person to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to let somebody like this be taking all of my shine and be the main villain, because Green Goblin would be a very intelligent person for Batman to be going up against, and Joker would just be very, very annoyed in this situation. And even if we're talking about the fact that, yes, Green Goblin has a lot of strength enhancements when it comes to his abilities, we still have to think about Batman as who he is. He's able to take care of a lot of people with super strength and a lot of other abilities fairly decently easily. And as soon as he actually deals with Goblin for long enough, he'll figure out the extent of his abilities, and he'll probably just create countermeasures for that anyways. And if we're talking about like the pumpkin bombs, that's not really going to be too much of an actual big issue for him, specifically due to the fact of it's just basically overblown explosives in all fairness, and he would most likely just be able to dodge them far fast enough for him to just start throwing haymakers and throwing cans at Goblin anyways. And we all know Batman takes the cake when it comes to any kind of martial arts and actual fighting, so we know not to actually have to worry about that in any actual main possibilities. Like, that's just a thing that we're not gonna ever have to even be bothered about at all. Obviously, I see Goblin probably going out and messing with quite a few other heroes and villains, honestly. He'll mess with whoever he feels like, but most likely I see him going to try dealing with somebody like the Flash or somebody like the Big Blue Boy Scout specifically, because of the fact that he would find a lot of fun in Batman because of the fact of just like how everything operates. But him trying to go with somebody like Superman would make a lot of sense because of the fact of he would just be trying to go into Metropolis, because he would probably be like a Lex Luthor situation where the only people that probably would know that he's the Goblin is Batman and whoever Batman tells. And so he could if he's like, this is a Goblin where he still has some kind of control where he's able to just switch between Norman and Goblin at will. It's most likely just going to be a situation where he is easily still one of these high name figures where, unless everybody knows that he's the Goblin, he'll probably be decently popular or decently well known, because Oscorp would probably be a company that's right along the runnings with Wayne Enterprises, LexCorp, and something along like any of the other big names businesses in the DC universe. Oscorp would be probably literally only third under Wayne and LexCorp. He would be easily probably one of the richer people there because of how good his company would be and how intelligent he is as a singular person. So he would still be able to do a lot of those things, and he would easily be able to still make a lot of the same things and do a lot of the same things as Norman. But I'm going to say this specifically. Unless people know who he is, he will easily just be wreaking havoc on anybody that he sees fit, and nobody will obviously know too much because he will be, as I already said, like his Lex Luthor situation, a very big supervillain, unless it's in the eyes of the public where people still love him at most times, or he's able to like use his influence to just basically go up to the highs of the highs. Where a situation where like Lex became president or whatever, he would probably be able to like take advantage of any situation like that where he easily finds a way to up and elevate himself to be more useful or whatever. But as I've already stated, he'll probably spend a lot of his time fighting with somebody like the Joker, because the Joker would honestly feel like a situation where him and Goblin cannot be existing in the same exact place at the same time because they're just too similar. The laughing, the green and purple and all of that, like all of their similarities would be a very big annoyance for the Joker. And he would just be like, no. You might be a Goblin and I might be a Joker, but we are a little too similar for my liking. So you're going to have to get, because I'm not leaving Gotham. So that probably would be just one of those more interesting things to see, because of the fact that those two would not get along. Like, those two just couldn't get along because of the fact that they are just so similar, and both of them kind of are willing to go to the same extremes at some points and just like either kill off people that Bats would most likely be closely associated with, and easily both of them would do things along the lines of what they did, like Joker did to Jason Todd. They would both be willing to go to these extremes, and it would just kind of feel more reductant than anything else. But either way, I still feel like he would be just a perfect villain for him because of the fact of the gimmicks, especially if we have a world without the Joker and then we replace him with the Goblin. It doesn't really change very much, besides the fact of how a lot of the things will be turning around and how a lot of the things will just end up in the long run. But please go down in the comment section and tell me what you guys honestly think would possibly happen if this situation was actively realistic. And again, if you guys want me to do like an actual full on what if scenario on this, do a full like storyline idea of this, please leave likes, comment it down in the comment section below, and tell me down like there. If you guys have any video ideas that you guys would like to do and like what would like me to do in the future, please maybe consider like leaving a super like thanks or super like or whatever, and commenting down that with whatever, like with the fact that you even like that you left one, and I will make that video ASAP as soon as possible. But I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.